Whoa, 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 whoa. I think I just played the wrong version. Let me go find the right one. Ladies and gentlemen, Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland have competition for the Balon d'Or. That's right. First of all, let me just quickly summarize what an unbelievable season our central defensive midfielder had. Let me just summarize what Rodri did this season. In both games against Newcastle, both home and away, Rodri was absolutely sensational, and he assisted in both those games. To mention his two unbelievable performances against Arsenal in the Premier League, against the second best team in the Premier League, and actually the best team throughout like a majority of the season in Arsenal. Two outstanding games both home and away against Arsenal. He had a great game against Manchester United in the FA Cup final. And obviously in the Champions League, performance after performance, amazing performance after performance in the group stages. In the knockout stage, he completely destroyed Bayern München's midfield. He showed Joshua Kimmich how to play the central defensive mid role properly. He was outstanding, and that was one of the goals of the tournament, and not to mention the winning goal in the Champions League final. And a couple days ago, in the Nations League semifinal, he was man of the match. And today, Spain just won the Nations League against Croatia after a penalty shootout. Rodri was named man of the match of the final once again. So, in total, that's 66 appearances, 4 goals, 7 assists. Rodri is a Premier League champion. He won the Champions League. He won the Nations League. He won the FA Cup. He was the UEFA Champions League player of the season. He was in the UEFA Champions League team of the season. He was the UEFA Champions League final man of the match. He was a Nations League best player of the tournament. He was obviously man of the matches in both the semifinal and the final, and he scored the Champions League winning goal. Like, I'm gonna say it. I think Rodri deserves to be in the Ballon d'Or conversation, all right? I'm not saying he's a shoo-in to win it. I'm not saying he's so incredibly clear, okay, because there is no clear winner, okay? Yes, that might hurt some of your feelings if you're an Argentina fan. I understand that. It's because it's Messi that it's a clear winner. The Ballon d'Or is a clear winner, okay? If Mbappe won the World Cup, nobody would be saying Mbappe would be the clear favorite for the Ballon d'Or, okay? Because I don't care that you won a League One trophy. I don't care. Where were you in the entire Champions League? Where were you, okay? Erling Haaland had one of the best seasons, had the best season of a striker, possibly in the history of football. The best debut season in the history of football, hands down, all right? I still believe that Lionel Messi is going to be number one. I think Lionel Messi will win the Ballon d'Or. And, I think Rodri should definitely be within the top 6, right? Messi, Haaland, Sergio Gomez, Kevin De Bruyne, and then maybe Mbappe, and then Rodri. I think Rodri deserves to be at least top 5, top 6. So many players who deserve to be in the contention. Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, John Stones, Erling Haaland, Ilkay Gundogan. I mean, and I didn't even mention Bernardo Silva, who was absolutely sensational for every single big game that we had this season. He was absolutely amazing. And the fact that I don't think Bernardo Silva will even make top 10 this year, which is kind of sad and pathetic. But regardless, Rodri is a central defensive midfielder. It's not a sexy position, okay? I've said this to my friend a long time ago. I thoroughly believed, even when I was like a teenager, Sergio Busquets is probably one of the most intelligent football players I've ever seen in my life, okay? And I, under no circumstances, please do not attack me in the comments if you're a Barcelona fan, okay? All right? I'm not saying Rodri is better than Sergio Busquets, or Rodri outranks Sergio Busquets, or even Casemiro, with all the miles Casemiro has put in the Champions League, in La Liga, okay? But when have you seen a central defensive midfielder reach the heights that Rodri achieved this season? When have you seen a central defensive midfielder win a Champions League, winning goal, man of the match performance, okay? N'Golo Kante was sensational, all right? N'Golo Kante was sensational. And again, I'm not saying Rodri is better than Kante, Casemiro, or Sergio Busquets, but I have not seen those three reach the limits that Rodri has. Yes, Kante may have won the Champions League, and I think he was man of the match in the final, but he didn't score the winning goal. Rodri did both. Okay, Sergio Busquets was definitely not the man of the match in any of the Champions League finals he played in. And that's a little bit unfair to him because he played with the greatest football player of all time and with one of the greatest midfielders of all time in Xavi Iniesta. Same thing with Casemiro. When you're playing with Ronaldo, okay, obviously they're going to get the headlines, all right? The attacking players, all right? I actually kind of sympathize with Casemiro and Sergio Busquets and Kanté a little bit. But Rodri is the best central defensive midfielder in the world. He's the best CDM in the world. I don't want to hear it. Rodri is our most important player. Rodri is our most important player. I made a tier list a couple of months ago with Manchester City players, and I ranked them on how they were doing compared to what I thought. And I ranked each person on each tier list in performance and ratings. I put Rodri ahead of Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. I did that a couple months ago. I would have done that last year. I would have done that 2 years ago. I would have done that 3 years ago. Okay, because he is our most important player. Okay, you don't see CDMs do these sort of things. And honestly, even with this season, I don't know if he's going to get top 3. It's a shame because Jorginho in 2021 got 3rd. For those of you who don't remember, Chelsea won the Champions League against us. And in that same year, Italy, because of COVID-19, played the Euro 2020 final in 2021 at Wembley. They beat England. Jorginho won the Euros, and he won the Champions League. Was Jorginho the best midfielder at Chelsea? No. Okay, N'Golo Kante was one of the best players of the tournament. Mason Mount was absolutely sensational that year. He was much better than Phil Foden that year. Okay, even Kovacic was better than Jorginho. Jorginho is an underrated player. I think he's gotten a lot of hate because of that 3rd place finish. I'm going to say this one more time. I'm not saying he's better than those 3. I'm not saying he's going to win the Balon d'Or. I just think that we should consider how important of a player he is. He deserves to be in the conversation for the best football player for this season. Thank you all so much for watching.